Hello, 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 gamers. How we doing? Hi, howdy, hi. Hope everyone's doing good. We're back. Happy March. It's Ace Attorney Investigations collection time. Huzzah. Is this the right one? Yes. Yes, the timestamp was confusing me. Yes. Hello. Hello. Right, we left off right before a... It's not called cross-examinations in this one. What's it called? Argument? Right before Lang's argument here. Alright. Let's do this. Why, Larry? I was the one who found the body of the victim demasked too. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be in the steel samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect, Larry Butts, in here too. Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? But this owner wanted to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on. Don't you?
Hold it!
Oh! If you're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that.
Not so fast!
Whoa! He not so fasted me. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? What? What? Me? Fabricate evidence? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence? Those are my trigger words. You think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. This man has some serious issues with prosecutors. But come on! I can't think of something as complicated as that. Right, Edgy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you. Or me, for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. Meaning that the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. Ooh. Here we go. Let's start pressing. Oh, so you're the one who found the body, eh? That's sus. Self-report much, Mr. Murderer? Send him out the airlock. So you were the first to discover the body this time. This time? What's that supposed to mean? You'd better watch what you say. I only said this time because earlier Kay was the first to discover the body in Babal. And your secretary, Agent Chanel, was ready to accuse her of murder for that. Alright! Lock him up!
Not so fast!
But I'm cool and she's not. So are you gonna use that excuse to call me suspicious now? That yeah, you're acting sus, man. It was Lang. In the office. Of course not. I was simply pointing out the usual pattern with discoverers of bodies. But in the Bobolese case, there was proof that she was holding the weapon, right? Well, in this one, it's a bit different since we know exactly where the weapon is. Okay. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up a scent of blood. Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood? Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight of and smell of blood, of course. And according to the tests, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was made to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it is pretty weighty. It's certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death with. Which leads me to suspect that the victim was beaten to death with the sword. Beaten to death, huh? This last statement is too important to just let it slip by. Okay. Beside him was the samurai sword, covered in the victim's blood. I suspect he beat the victim to death with that thing. Would he beat to death? Yeah, I don't think so.
Objection!
Do you know what this is, Agent Lang? I'm about to info dump on you. It's a long spear, right? We used to have those a lot in my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down. Spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history. It's the next most effective weapon after the whip. I think the whip is in a slightly different category. So what's your point? Are you gonna tell me that the spear is the real weapon? No, I simply want you to take a look at this section here. The way it's bent. Precisely. Apparently a certain troublemaker hit it against the wall in this embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the insides of the steel samurai's weapon are hollow. In other words, they're replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow, let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet there is not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Got him. Well, yeah, the sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. But I wish they make them out of better stuff, because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special early samurai rain jab move. Man, I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show. The Steel Samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him. He's going to punch Larry. Larry is not surviving. Because he bent it, Larry couldn't do the early summer rain jab special attack. Ah, he even knows. Ouch! That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back on the topic of the spear. Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se. So all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Using guesswork and taking risks in place of real logic is hardly the Von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever. Miss Von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. But perhaps it is for the best if it remains unbroken. For no one should have conceived of the notion to convict all defendants in the first place.
Objection!
Oh. What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolish fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There is nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory.
Hold it!
That may be your opinion, however, I don't believe that's all we are. Oh. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. And if that means that the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk on towards the truth.
Not so fast!
You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump, and we expire. I like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed Damask II without bending it. Okay? You're stretching. You're stretching, man. So what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need. So, okay, so he gets hypotheticals and he gets to just go off of those, but my hypotheticals have to be proven undoubtedly? Like, come on. Of course. What I need is evidence even he can't refute. This is it. It's time to bring this to a close. Here we go. Why, Larry? It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We'd searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So, isn't it only natural that suspicion would fall onto the owner of said weapon? That's dumb. That's stupid. That's a stupid logic. How long do you intend to cling onto that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of this embassy. There's no stone we've left unturned. And we managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. That the only place inside this embassy with the victim's blood on it is this sword.
Hold it!
You left no stone unturned? Is that a fact?
Not so fast!
If you've got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it all crystal clear for you. It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. Okay, and also, here's a thought. Here's a thought. The killer took the weapon. Pew, 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 pew. What do you mean the killer took the real weapon? That's preposterous.
Hold it!
The only place where you could find blood was on the samurai sword? That's right, even with luminol. Which means that there are no other possibilities outside of what I've already outlined. Do I have a problem with Agent Lang's assertion that the samurai sword is the weapon? Yes! Yes, I do. If you believe that there is no other door of possibility left to open, then allow me to force one open for you.
Not so fast!
And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what may possibly be the real murder weapon.
Not so fast!
Oh, do we have that? Oh, was it the statue? Because it was moved during the murder? Okay. The real murder weapon. I hate to repeat myself, but my men have already searched every last inch of this embassy, and they've concluded that nothing else could have been used as the weapon. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course. Because it's not possible that your men inspected everything in their investigation.
Not so fast!
What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games, and I don't appreciate it when people like you slander my men.
Hold it!
I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigative dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on. And that item is the real murder weapon. Alright then. I'll play along for now. This real weapon that killed the mask too. What exactly is it? The real murder weapon, which not a single person has yet to touch, is this. Which one though? This one? Which one are we in? I think it's this one.
Take that!
Okay. The National Treasure of Alabast. You mean the Prima Duck statue? Yes. And as you know, the ambassador and his only the ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which I believe means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it. Correct? You know very well that if we did that, there'd be an international incident between the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babal. The two countries' precarious relationship teeters in the balance over a stupid fight related to a sovereignty statue. But I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction the statue is facing just before and after the crime are different. And there is only one conclusion I can draw from that. Go look for Ambassador Alba and get him to give us the okay to examine the statue. Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He is most definitely trying to trick you. Shifu, please, let's be rational about this. Lang Ji says, just go already. Wise words. Yes, sir. Shifu. Yeah. I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission for us to examine the Prima Duck statue. That's sus. That's sus. Examine it anyway. I see. Wait, but then the investigation is at a standstill. Agent Lang, I will go and speak with the ambassador personally. Save your breath. He may act all weak and frail, but that old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you've got to be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know. Agent Lang, what do you want? Let's just hurry up and examine this statue already. But Shifu, what about causing an international incident? Quiet. Ooh. I'll take the fail if I have to later.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine, so if someone is to take the responsibility, let it be me. Responsibility. If we're going to talk in such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then. Less talk and more investigating. If we want to know the truth, we can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a chemiluminescent. Okay. I'd like to run a chemiluminescence test on the statue. A luminol test. Good thinking. If the statue is the murder weapon, then some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay. Let's get the forensics team in here. Ooh, there it is. Looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. I guess this means that this is the real weapon that killed the mask too. Indeed. But I wouldn't celebrate it if I were you. This doesn't let your friend off the hook. Okay, then why would he frame himself? Why would he frame himself with the sword? It doesn't prove that he didn't kill the mask too, so the charge remains. We are hardly done examining the statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that this is the real weapon, I believe further examination is required. Heh, you think so? Okay then, knock yourself out. Okay. With the sword drawn and ready, there is a certain aura of valor around him. Lang Ji says, those who hold the sword hold an equally strong will. It's said that the weapon one holds reflects the strength and will of one's character. I wonder if this was created as a show of the country's majesty? Ooh, then what does Franzie's whip say about her character? It says that I'm ready to exact punishment on those who would break the law. Why are you glaring at me? I thought you understood that I'm not the killer. I believe in your case she wishes to exact punishment before anything else happens. Okay. Upon closer inspection, he really does look a lot like the Steel Samurai. Hey, maybe that's why they chose him to be the Goodwill Ambassador? Nice one, Larry. You finally caught up. I actually can't discredit that hypothesis. Or maybe the people at this embassy just really, really like the Steel Samurai. That's absolutely preposterous. I don't think it's that unlikely. We mustn't go around denouncing people's opinions. Oh my god. And yet look at how easily you discredited mine. Not that I care why you chose him. There's a shield on the back. There's a shield on his back. Wonder if that's supposed to mean that his back is covered. Lang Ji says those with a shield on their back deflect all enemies behind them. It means that he is ready for any blindside attacks that may come his way. Agent Lang, there's no need to attach overly complex meanings to such a simple thing. You didn't seem to get Lang Ji's saying, so I was just explaining it to you. The saying itself is what I was referring to when I said overly complex, you know. Oh, got an achievement for that. Ah, handprint. What do we have here? The dirty smudge. It looks like handprint. What's a definitive piece of evidence like you doing under here? Looks like we got some fingerprints to analyze. Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. But it looks like it's too late for me to do anything about that now. Well, if they belong to Larry, then he's guilty. I don't know what you want, Edgeworth. Maybe he shouldn't be touching things. Hey, forensics guy. I want results on these fingers ASAP. You hear me? Agent Lang, I have the analysis results, sir. Good. And? Sir, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know, the victim of the murder in the Babali's embassy? They're his? Was he trying to steal it? The prints belong to him. To Mr. Manny Cochin, sir. Oh. But that's... Oh. Interesting. What's going on around here? No, that's impossible. So, did he kill Damask too? And then run in here and get stabbed by shadowy figure? Interesting. Each Prima Duck statue can only be handled by someone of that country. By the very fact that Mr. Cochin's fingerprints are on this one, it leads me to only one conclusion. This statue is actually Babal's Prima Duck statue. Oh, that's the direction. That was my second guess. So the statues are swapped. Impossible. It can't be. Larry never once set foot on Babali's soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only served to confuse us even further. Well, yeah, I don't think he'd be free to go because of that. Like, we don't know when the statues got switched. The ringleader, I guess the statue was turned a different direction, but that doesn't mean much. It could have been switched ages ago. And then just somebody grabbed it and used it as a weapon. The ringleader of a smuggling operation was killed with an alabastian knife in Babal. Oh, okay. And Damask too was killed on alabastian soil with Babal's national treasure. And the mystery of the great thief Yatagarasu, who visited both countries. The pieces were there, but I had yet to see the big picture they were to form.
getting spicy.
I need to move this up. Sorry, Callisto, you confrontation. Regrouping and situation update. Oh, stepladder. March 14th, 9:21 p.m. Open air stage. It's been a while since I played this game. I don't know why I blanked, but I was so weirded out by seeing him move onto the screen. Because I don't know, maybe I reverted back to the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. I was expecting this to just be the screen and to have like the little icon where I can examine things, you know, like the little cursor show up. I did not expect that. I don't know why. I just blanked and forgot I was playing Investigations for a minute. Oh my god. I was like, what? Why is it moving? Why is the screen moving? I've left the Damask 2 investigation to Francisca and returned to Babal. I suppose my first order of business should be to look into Babal's statue.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Oh, that guy. That guy's creepy. It's okay. What's the situation?
Oh, it's great. Investigating is so much fun.
In other words, they made absolutely no progress. We weren't goofing off. Honest, sir. We've been investigating our hearts out. Very well then. Would you care to give me an update on your investigation? Oh, we've had a really fun time, sir. I knew it. Zero progress. In any case, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. You have permission to enter the Alabastian embassy, is that correct? Yup. As a local detective, I'm helping out with investigations on both sides, sir. Good. In that case, I can leave these pieces of evidence with you. They belong to the lady under the Pink Princess's mask. A Pink Princess? What kind of lady was playing her, sir? The kind that was also playing the role of the Pink Badger yesterday. Oh god, sir. Ugh. Understood, sir. If I happen to run into her, I'll give them back to her. And if I don't, then I guess I'll unload them somewhere. He doesn't seem all that enthused to go find her, but I can't blame him. Evidence then has lost their value. Given to Detective Gumshoe. Oh my god, that's funny. Now then, I don't believe I'll be needing this anymore either.
What? You really gonna throw that autograph away?
Yes, because that Steel Samurai was a fake. Oh, okay, Edgeworth. Okay. Steel Samurai's autograph scrunched up into a ball and disposed of.
Wait, what? What do you mean by fake?
Now then, I believe it's time for a little housekeeping. Unnecessary evidence has been removed, remaining evidence has been rearranged. Okay. No, I was going over to the ladder.
Hey, you're not going back to Alabast already, are you?
No, not yet. I still need to gather a bit more information first. A ladder.
Actually, that's a stepladder.
They're the exact same thing. Oh my god.
No way! From the structure up, they're totally different. But of course, from a thief's perspective, the best kind of ladder is the rope ladder. A stepladder is much too heavy to carry around after all.
And from a prosecutor's perspective, any type of ladder is guilty of being dangerous during an earthquake. Oh. Bags full of cement powder are stacked up here. I suppose they're for renovation.
Yeah, because I don't smell a drop of gold here, or any other treasure for that matter.
Okay, the only scent you should detect in a place like this is the smell of sweat. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, that was a pretty good play on words there.
Ah, Gummy, don't randomly jump into one of our dialogues like that.
Are you eavesdropping on us, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah. No, it's not like that, sir. Okay. Oh. Oh! That was a cute animation. What the heck?
Hey, do you detect the scent of treasure coming from this bush?
The scent of treasure? Not at all.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you're totally not with it.
I'm not with it?
No, and it's important for both thieves and prosecutors to be energetic.
Perhaps for a thief like you, but that level of energy is unbecoming of a prosecutor.
You really think so? That prosecutor we met at Gatewater Land seemed to be pretty active.
Well, he's in jail now, Kay, so... Well, he's not a prosecutor anymore. See how everything just naturally balances out? It would appear that the stage is also scheduled to be renovated.
You know, I would love to perform on a stage like this. Something like the greatest great thief show.
I should think it would be a bad idea for a thief to show their face to the world. Mr. Edgeworth! You look like you're enjoying yourself, Detective. Well, I don't have much else that I enjoy as much as a good investigation, sir. So, what did you find out? Oh, well... I take it he has found nothing of any particular use, as usual. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I got something really interesting from Ambassador Palladino. Oh, and what is this something interesting? This, sir. Ooh, that's pretty.
Wow, that's so pretty. I'm so jealous. That's a real treasure there.
Why does the flame burn green, Detective? So apparently if you burn the special wit crystal oil that they only make in Babal, it burns this green color, sir. Interesting. So it's a special property of the oil. I suppose this is a ploy to force people to visit Babal should the oil run out.
Hey, Gummy, what about these silhouettes?
They stuck some cutouts on the outside of the lantern so it project the images. Oh? Silhouettes, huh? They are rather pretty, aren't they? Wait, what am I doing? I was supposed to be asking for an update on the investigation. Hey, what's wrong, sir? There's something I want you to investigate for me. Do you think you could do that much? Uh-huh. You got it, sir.
Hey, that's not fair. Why's Gummy getting to do all the fun stuff?
Oh, well, that's because I'm Mr. Edgeworth's partner.
Oh, I can't believe you took advantage of that confusion and stole my role as assistant.
I expect the two of you to get along and work together like professionals on this. Okay. Silhouette lantern runs on wit crystal oil, which burns green. It's a Babalese souvenir. Gotcha, sir. Alright, let's talk to Mr. Palladino. Oh, so you're back now, are you, Mr. Edgeworth? You must be tired. Here, with these, you can eat whatever you like. And these are... Oh. Discount tickets for our cafeteria. They open tomorrow at 10 in the morning. I appreciate the concern, however these coupons do nothing for me right now. This open-air stage, what function does it serve exactly? Well, normally we use it for a variety of events. It's all to attract that extra bit of attention to Babal. I heard that tonight, over in the Alabastian Rose Garden, Ambassador Alba was to give a speech. And you know what? Manny told me that I really should give a speech too. Mr. Cochin told you that? Yes, he did. Which is why I thought I should give a speech of my own. But unfortunately I wasn't able to. Because of the fire that Yatagarasu started.
Howdy! Hi!
Exactly. Ambassador Palladino, I'd like to ask you a little more about the Prima Duck statues. Oh, I see. Well, let me ask you this. Did you know that Alabasta and Babal used to be one country called Cadopia? I did. Yes, I know that much about your history. Did I miss much? We proved that it could not have been Larry that did the killing of of Damask 2. But so far, no more deaths. No more deaths. We also found out that the statues, these ones, got swapped. And that's about it. That's about all we've learned. Thank golly it wasn't Larry. Yep. Phew. I was worried. Yes, I know that much about your history. Well, the Prima Duck statue belonged to the founders of Cadopia. At least that's how the story goes. It was bequeathed unto the king of Cadopia as a symbol of the country's wealth. So it was meant as a symbol of sovereignty and the right to rule, I take it? Yes, that's right, which is why both countries are so adamant about their claim. We hold the real statue, therefore we hold the right to the rule, is the reasoning. It's pretty petty when you think about it, though, I suppose. But if Alabasta and Babal were to re-establish relations, shouldn't that put an end to the squabbling over the statue? I have no reason to believe so. The Prima Duck statue is even more important now as a key to diplomacy. Wonder if Ambassador Palladino knows about what has happened to the very important key to diplomacy. Perhaps I should try showing him this key and see what he has to say about it. Okay. Ambassador Palladino, if you could please take a look at this for me. The Prima Duck statue sitting in Alabast right now actually belongs to Babal. So it would appear. Oh, I received a call from Miss Von Karma about this earlier. Then you will understand why I wish to inspect Babal's Prima Duck statue immediately. I've just been informed. Watch, we can't talk on Twitch. Clearly, I'm the bigger fan. So real, so real. Because the statue currently in your country's possession. Yes, well, I've already inspected it myself. And it is definitely Alabast's statue. I know because it's the real statue. Then you're saying that Babal's was a replica? I'm embarrassed to say it's true, even though I knew that someday it would be exposed. I received my orders from the leaders of Babal, and I was to negotiate with Ambassador Alba at this event. I was to negotiate with him and fix the results of the evaluation tonight. To say that we could not determine which statue was the real one. Why are you telling me this? Well, because you already figured it out. Our statue is just a hollow gold shell. Even if Babal were to lose face, the reunification of the country is what's important. I'm right in thinking that, aren't I? I'm not making a mistake, right? If you don't know yourself, then I won't pretend to know either. I never thought that being betrayed by my own secretary, the real symbol of wealth, would be given to me. Isn't it simply ironic?
Hey, where are you going? Are you heading back to Alabast?
Yes, but before I do, I suppose I should give you a summary of what's happened. Hey, summary! We love a good summary. Oh, never mind.
Oh, I see. So there's been a murder in both countries using an object from the other country?
That's the gist of it. Babal is just as strict as Alabast. God forbid a country use their gold on something useful. Real. In their inspection of the people and things that enter their country, meaning that somehow both murder weapons were smuggled into the two countries. Banger summary, yeah! Nice little wrap-up. That's the only logical conclusion that can be drawn. Perhaps the key to the weapons smuggling is the person who traversed both countries.
You mean the fake Yatagarasu?
In one way or another, the Yatagarasu is connected. Of this I am sure. Now then, where was the Yatagarasu first spotted? I believe it was the Rose Garden on the Alabastian side of the embassy. The garden is just on the other side of this boundary. It's where Ambassador Alba was to give a speech tonight. At least, that's where I heard the Yatagarasu had appeared. In that case, I believe it's vital that I investigate the Rose Garden post-haste.
Wait, before you go, take a look at this, Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it?
My guess is that it's a guitar pick. I picked it up just now over there. Do you think it'll be of any use?
There is a little water on it, but how did the water get on it? It doesn't look like there's anything it could get wet from around here.
I was thinking they have concerts here at this open-air stage from time to time, right?
Alright, I'll find its owner later. Found at the open air stage, it looks like a guitar pick. It's also wet for some reason. Clavier, Gavin, what have you been doing with this guitar pick?
Oh yeah, there's one more thing. Mr. Edgeworth, would you be willing to hold on to this?
What is this?
It's misused perfume.
Oh.
It's the bottle that woman left behind and that I found 7 years ago.
You just carry it with you everywhere?
I thought that one day be of some use in tracking her down.
That's fair. Fair enough.
So I kept it safe all this time.
Thank you. I'd be honored to hold on to it for you. This was left behind by Calista you 7 years ago. Kay has been safeguarding it. Okay. Oh, they disappeared.
They're having a real time of it cleaning up after the fire.
I suppose we should stay out here and investigate the stage some more then. Okay. I think we're done with the stage. Oh my god. I'm trying to go up. The Bubbly's embassy is just outside this window. It appears the renovations are going well.
Hey, I see Ambassador Paulino out there.
He's carrying wood planks for the renovations himself. Very commendable. Hello. Nope. My controller.
Her little face. 1, 2, 3, 4? He's carrying 4 of them? Wow. May not look it, but I guess Ambassador Paulino has got some real muscles.
Perhaps a bit of physical strength is required to be the ambassador of a country.
Gee.
We saw the show just beyond these doors, but it's been quite a number of hours now.
Mr. Edgeworth, have I ever told you that you talk like an old fogey?
I was merely reminiscing. Is that such a crime? I think I'll be returning to the investigation in Alabas now, but...
I know. I'll go back to the ball and do some more investigating there.
Rose Garden. That's pretty. Franziska, right?
I see you're back, Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't playing anyone's theme, and I just had to go off context clues.
How are things in Babal? Although I can't really say I expect much from Scruffy and that girl.
The investigation into Manny Cochin's death hasn't really progressed any. However, the investigation into the Yatagarasu has.
Ah yes, the Yatagarasu. Even now I find it hard to believe.
A person who can freely traverse between the two countries at will. Preposterous. Well, that's what I came here to investigate. I heard that this is where witnesses claim to have seen the Yatagarasu.
That's correct. Ambassador Alba was to give a speech tonight here in Alabast. And that's when the Yatagarasu appeared. The shadow of the mysterious thief appeared, and just as suddenly, it vanished.
After that, there was a fire at the Babalese embassy at the Yatagarasu started. Thank you for the summary, Franziska. At least you know how to do summaries. I vowed that not a single feather from the Yatagarasu shall escape my diligence. Let's go! Rose Garden. Hey, Franziska! Franziska, let's go! We're teamed up again! Yo! Wait, the statue's sick. The statue bears a resemblance to the Primadux statue. The plaque says, King Primadux and the battlefield. In order to save the Queen, King Primadux puts his life on the line in event of war. So Primadux was actually a person of royal blood? I thought he was simply someone imitating a character from an ancient legend. Well, what surprises me is that a real person who looked like the Steel Samurai existed. I suppose there's that too. This one's cute. A statue of a woman. Wonder if the lady is pouring water. It says that it's the statue of the queen who spoke of love to King Primadux. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it seems that you are lousy at reading a woman's heart. Oh my god. I opened my mouth about a statue and she somehow made the leap to that. Is she wrong, though? Is she wrong? There are roses scattered on the surface of the water, creating a pleasant fragrance. It's not just for aesthetics. This pool's water is also used in putting out fires. I see. Oh. The pool stopped filling itself automatically. The fountain spouts are set to stay open until the pool's water reaches a certain level. If this water is used to put out fires, I suppose it must be refilled to its normal level. Which suggests that this pool was recently used somehow in this embassy. Oh, interesting. But there wasn't a fire in this one. I guess I'll take some notes about it just in case. Part of the Rose Garden pool auto refills the water when the water level is too low. Oh, but it's times like this that I wish I used face cam, because the face I just made when Larry popped out of the water. Oh my god. How dare you surprise me like that? I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Edgy. Thanks for what you did back there. Your gratitude alone is enough. More importantly, Larry, this pool is not for your personal enjoyment. I know that. Do you really think that I'm the type to just jump into a pool and swim around for fun? I was thrown in here. I'm being murdered. Alright then, did you by chance fall into the pool? Nice guess, but no dice. So you know my son, right, Edgy? Your son? I guess I kind of lost sight of him when I shook hands with the ambassador. And I'm pretty sure he was around here when I last saw him. You imbecile! How can you be so flippant at a time like this? What are you going to do if your son fell into the pool? And how old is this child of yours anyway? Huh? Oh, how old is he again?
Hold it!
Larry, this is the first I've heard of a son. Who exactly is the mother? Mother? Oh, that chick, the pink princess. I know he's talking about the Steel Samurai child and stuff, but oh, out of context, it's so funny. Oh my god. The pink princess?
Hold it!
Miss Von Karma. I was a bit confused by this man's words for a bit there. However, I believe what he is looking for is the doll of the Iron Infant. Yep, because I'm the Steel Samurai through and through, heart and soul. And the Iron Infant is my cute little son. You have given a whole new meaning to the phrase, an astounding fool. I love her hatred for Larry. It's just, oh my god. Larry, We have not seen hide nor hair of the Iron Infant. Rest assured that if we should find him, we'll let you know. Now get out of there. Sounds good. In that case, I'll go search over there. Hey, wait! Well, it's not as if he'll get very far swimming around in that pool. And though he's unrelated to the murders, he sure knows how to cause a lot of trouble. Well then. There's an overturned spotlight here. When the Yatagarasu appeared, the audience that was waiting for the speech to start panicked. I suppose that's when someone must have knocked it over. I'm having a tough time visualizing the mass confusion that took place here. I thought to use my whip to capture the Yatagarasu. However, there were people in my way, and I was unable to land even a single lash. I suppose this means that some other poor saps were hit instead. Okay. Is it possible that the Yatagarasu hid in these bushes? Of course not. They're rose bushes. I mean, if he had the right protection, he could probably hide in them. Like, I don't know what or she could hide in them. I don't know what the Yatagarasu is wearing. Maybe they don't feel pain. You've been spending so much time with Scruffy and that girl, they're rubbing off on you. But it's alright, I'll wake you out of your stupor. Now the next time you feel like sleep-talking, remember that I'll whip you for real. All I tried to do was offer up a possibility, and this is what I get. Alright. Hey, buddy. Have you finished checking out all the bystanders? Yes, sir. And we found 14 counts of pickpocketing, 16 counts of illegal parking, and one person ran a light, sir. Don't tell me you didn't find out anything related to the case. Sir, not a single thing, sir. Well, for now, let's just get those other lawbreakers down to the precinct. Agent Lang? Well, if it isn't Mr. Prosecutor. I would just like to thank you for your assistance earlier. Make no mistake, it's not like I was trying to help you with what I did. After I left, did you receive word from Ambassador Alba? We're to wrap up our bodyguard assignment at the end of today. Oddly enough, we've received word from HQ to return home on an urgent matter. Heh, as if I can be so easily called away from this case after I've come this far. I swear that I'll find the truth and drag it out, screaming into the light. You're with me on that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? You were working as Ambassador Alba's bodyguard at the time. So naturally you witnessed the Yatagarasu, so you witnessed when the Yatagarasu appeared, correct? Yeah, and I saw the thief, all right, with my own 2 eyes. The Yatagarasu was always there, lurking in the shadows. But when the spotlights were turned on for Ambassador Alba's speech, a shadow appeared. That's when cries of, "It's the Yatagarasu," rang out. Okay, so they only saw a shadow. Oh, look at how this shadow is. It's the statue. It's the statue. I know how these cases go. It's the statue creating that shadow, and the real Yatagarasu was in the other embassy, or somewhere else entirely. Or just not here at all. Who knows? Yeah, that's the Prima Duck, the statue of the Prima Duck's king, where he's like bent over, or something. Or maybe it's both the statues put together or something. Do we have the statues in the thing yet? I bet we're gonna get him. I know how this game works. The next second, the spotlight went out, and by the time we got the area lit again, the deft thief had vanished. When we investigated afterwards, we found that the reason the lights went out was because someone had unplugged the extension plug for all the outdoor electronics. Whether it was someone doing it on purpose, or simply a guest who had tripped over it, we don't know. But one thing is for certain. The Yatagarasu was here. So you're saying that basically, all you saw was the thief's silhouette? Yes.
Objection!
If all you saw was a shadow, then it's entirely possible that the shadow belonged to someone else.
Good thinking, sis. You just might be right. If it weren't for the fact that there was no one else with that same shape. Not among the staff or the audience members. My men have already done a thorough check of everyone, so I know I'm right. Someone else's shadow. That sounds like a plausible hypothesis. The suddenly appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. I believe I figured out its true origin.
I expected no less from my subordinates. Now let's hear what you know on the subject. What really cast the shadow of the Yatagarasu?
It's the statues, yeah? One of them. This one?
Take that!
The suddenly appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. Oh, did the spotlight move? Is it not possible that it was created by the statue?
Objection!
Are you playing me for a fool, Miles Edgeworth? The statue bears absolutely no resemblance to the statue of the Yatagarasu.
You are correct. However, this statue is but one part of the whole picture.
What do you mean by only one part?
What is the other part to the real form of the Yatagarasu's shadow? Is it the other statue? That's why I'm assuming it's both the statues.
It's another statue.
And look at that one. That one's been moved, it looks like, I think. There's like scratch marks.
It's another statue.
The Yatagarasu's shadow was made from the shadows of these two statues.
Made? What do you mean by that?
Right now, the spotlights are all over the place. This is because they were moved when the guests were in a panicked state. However, if we were to restore the lights to where they were when the thief appeared...
You believe that the two statues will create the Yatagarasu's shadow?
Precisely. Now then, watch as I reveal the true form of the Yatagarasu. First, if we set up a spotlight to cast the shadow of King Primadux in the battlefield, the shadow of the king statue would appear on the backdrop of the stage. Likewise, if we set a light up upon the queen who spoke of love to King Primadux, her silhouette would also appear on the backdrop to the stage.
Uh-huh. So if we were to combine the two shadows...
It looks nothing like the Yatagarasu's shadow. Hers was moved.
Miles Edgeworth, how do you explain this grotesque shape?
Calm down, Francisca. The way the light needs to be shown on the queen statue is wrong. Oh, okay. It's a lighting error.
What do you mean by that?
I believe that the whole of the king's shadow needs to be used for this to work. However, in the case of the queen, I don't believe her whole shadow is needed. Rather, the person who created the shadow only used one part of her shadow.
Only one part?
Yes, and that one part alone is enough to fill in the rest of the Yatagarasu's shadow.
Why didn't you say that in the first place?
You're right, I apologize. Now, what part of this queen statue is used to complete the Yatagarasu's shadow? Her hand?
Take that!
Think back to what is missing in our shadow. 5 long, thin areas, correct? Now, what does that remind you of? Ah, that's right. It can only be the shadow of the Queen's left hand. Francisca, can we please adjust the spotlight's position so that it only shines on the Queen's left hand? Alright, let's give it a try and see what we get. It's... Yeah, this is exactly like the shadow I saw. The culprit must have changed the spotlight's positioning beforehand. And then pulled the plug after people saw what the culprit wanted them to see. In their panic, the guests must have moved the spotlights around, which we can assume was also a part of the culprit's plan. By the time the lights came back on, the Yatagarasu's shadow had vanished. Which means that the shadow was a construct from the very beginning. So you see, the Yatagarasu never did visit Alabas tonight. The only country that they visited was Babal, although it can be assumed that the Yatagarasu had an accomplice in Alabas. Okay. An accomplice? But who? I haven't figured that out yet, but I assume it was the person who set up the shadow show. I sense that the biggest clue yet to solving this case is the existence of this accomplice. Hey! And with that, with a mystery person showing up, is where we'll leave this stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm gonna send you all off on a little raid. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been fun. It's been fun. I'm gonna send you over to Jasmine, who's also playing some Ace Attorney Investigations. Show some love over there. Show some love. And I'll see you guys later. Maybe another stream this week. Depends how things go. But yeah. I'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.